Dear Patriots, before the news starts, please subscribe to our patriotic channel by clicking the subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up to this video. Don't forget to leave your opinion below in the comments section. Share the news on Facebook and Twitter so you friends see it. Thank you.
Seconds ago, Robert Mueller charged two people close to Trump. Look who it is. These are the first charges of the Mueller investigation. Paul Manafort and his business partner Rick Gates were told to surrender to the feds this morning, according to NY Times. The charges were brought against Mr. Manafort, former campaign chairman of Trump, and Mr. Gates, a business associate of Manafort. Manafort has been under investigation for violations of tax law, money laundering, and his foreign lobbying. He is a dirty guy. Mr. Gates is a junior partner of Manafort and is listed on documents that show Manafort's firm receiving payments from people in Eastern Europe via Cyprus. Share this if you are praying that Trump stays safe in all of this. After getting caught for sex assault, Kevin Spacey admitted the biggest secret in Hollywood. Kevin Spacey just came out as gay after it came out that decades ago he made a sexual advance on a 14-year-old actor in an apology that he posted on Sunday night. In an interview with BuzzFeed, Star Trek, Discovery and Broadway star Rapp said that Spacey made unwanted sexual advances on him. Keep in mind this was back in 1986 when both of them had shows on Broadway. Spacey allegedly invited him to a party in the apartment and apparently, Spacey grabbed him and carried him to his bed. He picked me up like a groom picks up the bride over the threshold. But I don't, squirm away initially, because I'm like, what's going on? And then he lays down on top of me. He was trying to seduce me, Rapp continued. I don't know if I would have used that language. But I was aware that he was trying to get with me sexually. In response, Kevin Spacey wrote the following and came out as gay. But if I did behave then as he describes, I owe him the sincerest apology for what would have been deeply inappropriate drunken behavior, Spacey wrote. This story has encouraged me to address other things about my life. I know that there are other stories out there about me and that some have been fueled by the fact that I have been so protective of my privacy. As those closest to me know, in my life I have had relationships with both men and women. I have loved and had romantic encounters with men throughout my life, and now choose to live as a gay man. I want to deal with this honestly and openly, and that starts with examining my own behavior. Share this to show the world how rotten Hollywood is. Will you be watching Kevin Spacey anytime soon? Oh no. This man with Down syndrome just walked into Congress and did unthinkable. Frank Stevens has Down syndrome and told a congressional committee this Wednesday that his life is worth living. He also condemned abortion as the final solution. He said that abortion advocates would kill babies like him. Seriously, I don't feel I should have to justify my existence. Is there really no place for us in the world? Mr. Stevens, a screen actor, told the Congress. Surely happiness is worth something. Watch the incredible video below. Let's be America, not Iceland or Denmark, Stevens said, referring to recent reports chronicling the near 100% abortion rate of unborn children diagnosed with Down syndrome in those countries. According to Breitbart, the vast majority of women in Iceland that have kids that test positive with Down syndrome abort the children. This is seen as progressive. Share this if you think that wonderful people like Stevens above have the right to live. Spread his amazing message, y'all. God bless every child, born or unborn. After John Boehner attacked him, Sean Hannity just unleashed his secret weapon. Twitter is buzzing with the information that came out about John Boehner in Politico. The former House Speaker opened up about the Freedom Caucus and took shots at Sean Hannity and Mark Levin. Here is what Boehner said to Politico. Mark Levin, went really crazy right and got a big audience, and he dragged Sean Hannity to the dark side. He dragged Rush to the dark side. And these guys, I used to talk to them all the time. And suddenly they're beating the living shit out of me. Boehner, seated in his favorite recliner, lights another cigarette. I had a conversation with Hannity, probably about the beginning of 2015. I called him and said, "Listen, you're nuts." We had this really blunt conversation. Things were better for a few months, and then it got back to being the same old, same old. Because I wasn't going to be a right-wing idiot. Hannity then took to Twitter to respond to Boehner's account of the event. Sean Hannity is not afraid to tell the truth. John, were you sober when you said this? That conversation never happened. I'm sorry you are bitter and you failed, tweeted Hannity. Boehner also said that social media is what's dividing him. What's really dividing America is the fact that boneheads like Boehner keep on trying to divide this country. Share this if you think it's time for Boehner to go bye-bye. Shock report: new book blows the lid off of Obama's insidious plan to destroy Trump, and everyone has got to see it right now. An explosive new book by Edward Klein is making stunning accusations of former President Barack Obama, claiming that Obama and one of his top aides had formed a plot around Christmas to destroy the then president-elect. The Washington Times reports on an excerpt of the book, entitled All Out War, which claims that former National Security Advisor Susan Rice hatched plans to unmask, or disclose, the names of several Trump campaign associates who were mentioned or whose conversations were captured in intelligence intercepts of Russian officials. According to Klein, Obama was in on it the whole time. He knew Rice wanted to encourage leaks to the Washington Post and the New York Times, accusing Trump and his campaign of colluding with Russian President Vladimir Putin in the American presidential election. If Rice's plot succeeded, that is, if it could be proved that Trump had colluded with Putin during the campaign, or, later, if it could be proved that he had tried to prevent an investigation into such collusion, Trump would likely face charges of impeachment. Klein added that during the dinner that Rice explained her idea, Michelle Obama had expressed her own reservations, saying that the plot could bite us in the ass. This plan might have been at work in January, when, according to the New York Times, Barack Obama expanded the National Security Agency's ability to share globally intercepted personal communications with 16 other intelligence agencies before privacy protections were applied, significantly increasing the likelihood of leaks. Edward Klein is a former editor of the New York Times who has written critically of Obama and Hillary Clinton in the past. This book sounds like a fantastic read, and if the claims turn out being true, Michelle Obama might just be right about things coming back to bite them in the ass. Share this out 10,000 times. HT Washington Times. Obama's seethe with rage as Tom Fitton reveals dirty trick they pulled on President Trump. The news broke this morning about the Paul Manafort indictments, and the Washington press corps is in a feeding frenzy. That story will suck all the oxygen out of the room, and that is a shame because Tom Fitton dropped an absolute bombshell this morning on Fox and Friends. A total game changer, or it should be if the media would report it. But as it is not kind to Barack Obama and is kind to President Trump, don't hold your breath. Thankfully, Tom Fitton is an independent voice for truth and does not have to play by the preset media narrative. Instead, he relishes blowing up their phony narratives. According to Newsmax, Fitton exposed payments from the Obama campaign, Obama for America, of nearly $1 million to a law firm funding Fusion GPS's dodgy dossier. President Obama had it in for President Trump, then, at the time, the candidate. Fitton said, he campaigned so close, so much for Hillary Clinton that it hadn't been done like that in 100 years. Then you had the dossier being used by the Obama FBI, the Obama Justice Department, maybe the Obama CIA to target Team Trump. Fitton goes deeper and shows that $700,000 of the funds Obama paid the law firm funding the dossier happened at the same time Fusion began working for Hillary. He goes on to explain that the dossier is clearly a political hit job on President Trump, and if the CIA and FBI use this for their investigation, we need to know. We in the midst of a major criminal investigation against the President of the United States as a result of this dodgy dossier, which was a political hit job on Mr. Trump, Fitton concluded, raising more questions that need to be answered. Share if you agree this stinks to high heaven.